Okay, this is my video. I'm Ryan McNevin for Miss Yang's Period 1 final, and the number that I was assigned to is number 1B. And that number, the problem is 1 minus 2 cosine squared theta divided by sine theta cosine theta, and that is set equal to tangent theta minus cotangent theta. So I have my pink sheet here that has all my trig identities on it to help myself out. And what I wanted to do first was, this is the more complicated side, but when I was solving it, I found that this side, the right side, was a lot easier for me to figure out to make sure that they're equal. So that's the side I'm going to be working with. So first off, I know that tangent theta is equal to sine theta over cosine theta. And then I know that cotangent theta is equal to cosine theta over sine theta. And then what I want to do is I want to get it to be over 1, so have a common denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply each of these to make them a common denominator. So if I want to make cosine theta and sine theta the same denominator, I'm just going to multiply them by each other. And when I do that, I have to multiply top and bottom. So if I'm going to take the first side, I'll do sine theta times sine theta over cosine theta times sine theta minus cosine times cosine over sine theta times cosine theta. And now I see that these two are the same, so I've got a common denominator. And when that happens, you can just combine both of those into one. And I'm going to first simplify the top right here in both of them, because when I do that, it'll just be easier with steps later on. So sine theta times sine theta is sine squared theta over, let's do sine theta cosine theta, just so it's the same as this one, because I'm trying to get this side equal to this side, so ultimately the denominator should match. And then I'm going to subtract and get cosine squared theta on this side, and it'll be sine theta times cosine theta as well. So now it's clearly seen that these two are the same, and now that that's simplified, it's easier to combine them with the subtraction symbol. So I can do sine squared theta minus cosine squared theta all over sine theta cosine theta. All right, and now this isn't a trig identity, but I know that over here the cosine squared theta is still in it, so I don't want to change this to anything. I want to get this over to cosine because I want to combine it into one, so it'll be all cosine on the top. And so when I do that, I want to look at my trig identity sheet again. I know that sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cosine theta squared theta, so that'll be 1 minus cosine squared theta minus cosine squared theta all over sine theta cosine theta. And now we're getting closer to the final product. So I can combine these two right here and there's 2 cosine squared thetas. So I'm going to do equals 1 minus 2 cosine squared theta, all divided by sine theta, cosine theta. And I can see that that is what I originally started with over here. So that's my problem for my final for Miss Yang's class.